What's up guys? In this video I want to talk about audio. I feel that audio is one of the most overlooked aspects to great filmmaking. So in this video I'm going to talk about all of the audio equipment I use and compare them to each other so you can see the difference they make in helping your films look more professional. So right now I'm being recorded by this microphone, which we'll talk about in a second, but I want to switch right now to the on-camera audio so you can see the difference it makes to have a nice microphone in comparison to just using the audio that comes straight from your camera. So I'm now going to switch to just my on-camera audio. So because my camera is about 8 feet away from me, it's picking up all these echoes and all this background noise, and it's not going to sound very high quality. This is a mistake a lot of amateur filmmakers make, is they just use the audio straight from their camera, and as you can tell, it sounds very unprofessional. So I'm going to make a few recommendations today of microphones that I've purchased that I feel are some of the best tools that can help beefing up your audio. So the first tool I want to talk about is the Rode VideoMic Pro. This guy runs about $200 off of Amazon and just pops directly onto your shoe mic on the top of your camera and is used as an onboard microphone so it can go with you everywhere the camera goes. Now this type of setup is ideal for run and gun style shooting. This is the main type of audio we use for most of our Devon Supertramp videos. Now I have a Rode mic on top of that camera that I'm now going to plug in so you can see the difference that it makes from just using the audio straight from camera. So the audio you're hearing now is coming from the Rode microphone that is on top of my camera, and it's not going to sound a whole lot better because I'm still too far away from my camera. If you're going to use this effectively, you got to be closer to your subject. So to give you an idea, this is what it sounds like when using the VideoMic Pro at a closer distance. Now within this microphone there's different settings you can use. On the back here you'll see two switches. The first switch is just the on and off button. If you go to the middle switch, it's going to pick up everything, and if you go to the far right, it's going to cut out the low frequencies, which is better when interviewing somebody one-on-one and you want to take out some of the low rumbling background noises. And the bottom switch has a -10, 0, and 20. Keep it at 0, and then in your camera, you want to make sure to go into your sound recording settings and put it to auto. These are the sound settings we use for most of our Devon Supertramp videos. A lot of people recommend that you switch it to manual audio and then turn the preamp in your camera all the way down to just one notch up from 0, and then switch your Rode mic up to +20 dBs. So I'm now going to show you what the audio sounds like with those manual settings. So my camera is now set to manual sound recording, just one notch above 0 on the preamp, and my Rode microphone is set to +20 dBs. So that shows you the difference between auto and manual mode when shooting with a Rode microphone. Now let's move on to my next microphone that I'd recommend, which is the NT-G3, and is typically used as a boom mic with a blimp that you put on top, which keeps the wind from picking up in the audio and is great for outdoor use. Now in order to use this microphone you need phantom power, which means you need something to plug into. And the device I would recommend buying is the Zoom H6, which you can get for about $400 off of Amazon. It's recording rolling audio right now through this XLR cable and into my microphone. And the proper settings when using this is to dial this corresponding knob, and you can turn it down or up depending on how far away you are from your subject. That will allow you to gauge the correct loudness. You want to look down here at your audio levels and you want to make sure it's peaking at around -12 dBs, and that will assure that you don't have any peaking or distortion in your audio and help it sound nice and clean. So this setup I like to use when I'm doing high budget productions and I can afford to hire somebody to boom and give me high quality sound, following the cameraman around the whole day, making sure we get the best audio possible. And because this is a directional mic, just like the Rode mic, wherever the microphone is pointing is where it's going to pick up the audio the best. So watch this as I move over to this side. You see the audio isn't picking up nearly as well. I move back to the middle and all of a sudden it's picking up my audio again. And then I move over to this side and it's not picking up over here very well. So this microphone's really great for shutting out all the background noise and just focusing in on what's in front of it. So you want to stay only a foot or two away when using this mic. Be as close as you can. Sometimes you can't get as close because you have to be out of the camera frame, but just get as close as you can with this microphone and you're going to get the best sounding audio. Moving on to the next microphone I'd recommend getting is the Sennheiser G3, which is a lav or lapel microphone. You have your transmitter, which says AV out, and you're going to attach this guy to your camera. Comes with a little shoe mount. And then go ahead and plug into your mic slot. And then you're going to be plugging your microphone into your receiver, and you'll hook your receiver to your side and then attach your lav mic, this teeny little mic here, about 6 to 8 inches from your mouth, and then go ahead and clip that on to the shirt. You want to make sure you set sound recording to manual, and again, put the recording level down to just 1 notch above 0. So I'm going to go ahead and switch from my NTG3 to my Sennheiser lav mic right now. And so the audio you're hearing now is coming from this lav microphone. So the times when you want to use a lav microphone is when you're doing interviews out in the field and you have your subject walking back and forth and you don't want to have to follow him with a microphone. And so by putting on a lav mic, it doesn't matter where he's at, the audio is going to stay the same. He can spin in circles and it's not going to matter where he's at. This will always be picking up his voice at the same level, even if the camera is hundreds of yards away. Now, as far as the proper settings for these, update on the settings. I used to have different settings, but now I set my transmitter settings to -30 dB, the transmitter being the one that is attached to the microphone. And then I have the receiver set to 0 dB, which is the one that goes on top of the camera. And then in my camera preamp, I have the recording level set to just 1 notch above 0, unless the person is talking super quiet, then I'll bump that up according to their levels. The last microphone I want to talk about and would recommend is the Studio Condenser mic. This guy specifically is a Sterling ST59. Now, these microphones are what musicians use in the studio to record vocals on music, and I personally use it for doing voiceovers over top of my video footage. And like my NTG3 shotgun mic, this one also requires phantom power, so it's got to be plugged into an audio box of some kind in order for it to work. So I am now in my studio using my Studio Condenser mic, and over here you'll see my audio box USB, which I got for about $200 on Amazon, which plugs in and powers my studio mic. And this round filter thing here is called a pop filter. And what it does is it prevents all the popping noises I make from distorting the audio, like so. So by placing this in between me and the microphone, it keeps those pushes of air from my mouth from hitting the microphone. So this is how your Studio Condenser mic sounds. So now I'm going to show you back to back all the different audio options so you can see the difference they make and see which ones you think would be most valuable for you to buy. So first we're going to do just the audio from the camera. So here's the audio you'll get when using the audio straight from your camera. And now we're going to plug the Rode mic into the camera. The Rode mic is set to manual mode right now. And like I said, in order for the VideoMic Pro to be effective, you got to be a lot closer to your subject. So to give you an idea, this is what it sounds like when using the VideoMic Pro at a closer distance. And now let's switch to the NTG3, and this is the audio you're hearing from what I consider my nicest microphone, which I use as a boom mic for high budget productions. And now we're going to switch to the lav mic, which is on my shirt, so you can walk around without having to carry any microphones, spin around, and the audio will stay the same. And now we're going to switch to our condenser mic and give you a nice, warm, rich sound from the studio. So those are my suggestions of buying audio equipment to help improve the sounds of your films. If you guys have any further questions, please let me know.